Oh, hi everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Dragon Age: Children of Thedas. Welcome. Before we go around and say hello to these now very familiar, wonderful faces around the screen, let's go through our usual channel announcements. First of all, we have our social links. You can check these out. We've got Discord, where you can find a safe, inclusive space where you can talk about TTRPG things and all the other things that we do. Also, just today I updated the Academy Funds tab, so if you want to go and see how we're doing as a business, what our profit and losses and stuff, you can go and check that out right now. Also, Twitter, if you want to send me a DM, I will get you a game. We have 2 games of D&D 5e a week, 1 game of the Cypher system, 1 game of Ryutama, and 1 game of Monster of the Week. But Monster of the Week is full, so don't DM me about that one, but DM me about all the others. We also have YouTube. Everything will be up on YouTube before the episode next week, so go and check that out too. Patreon. Over on Patreon, you can support us for as little as $1 a month, and every dollar is very much appreciated. In fact, every single dollar donation has led to us having around $500 a month payout, which is fantastic. That is our goal, $500. We've got it. We've held it for nearly a month now. That feels like stability. So thank you all so much for the support. Very much appreciated. We also have merchandise. If you would like to go and get one of these crests on your chest, you can do so over on the Redbubble. I believe at the moment it might have run out, but I believe if you use the code CUPID, you can take advantage of 20% off, 10 or 20% off across the site. Thank you so much, Stonefly Kai, for that subscription. 2 months in a row, you have a reroll to gift to one of our players. Which reminds me, players, everyone except for Alice starts with a reroll today. We also have sponsors. Please check out Bird in the Storm Publishing, who create content for TTRPGs in the form of modules, where they created the Clearing the Midnight Wield module for D&D 5e, which we played over Christmas, and you can find it on the YouTube. We also have Mage Hand Press, who created the Dark Matter Alpha, a sci-fi expansion for D&D 5e. We mostly use it to play D&D in space. It's great fun. You can check that out on Thursdays at 10 PM EST for completely legitimate business. It's completely legitimate. At the bottom of below the screen, we have panels. We have tabletoploot.com, we've got arasavad.com and ruinc.com. So if you want to go and get yourself some dice, get yourself some dice accessories like bags and trays, or if you want to go and get yourself some maps and cartography, go and check out one of those sites where you can get 10 to 15% discount. Can you give it to Alice? Of course you can give it to Alice. Alice, you start with a reroll. There we go. Lastly, there is a tweet. Every 10 retweets does lead to a random rolled trinket being randomly distributed to one of the party.
We are at 9 retweets as well.
Aha, thank you. At 10 now. Literally, just as we said, at 10. 10 retweets, so we're going to start with a trinket. Thank you all so much. That is me. That is all of my things. So let's go around and say hello to everyone. Alice, why don't you lead that? Oh,
Hi.
Dungeon Master.
I'm not running around to find my trinket list that I definitely didn't forget. Hang on. Okay. Yeah, I'm here now. I'm Alice. I'm White Rabbit Pig. That's I will be your DM for today. And everything is fine. So we're gonna hop around, and we are going to start with our very own Canary, Huldra. Hello. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your character?
Yes. I play Huldra, the canary that uses magical swag to do stuff. She's courageous. She's strong. She's very good with conversations. She's a woman that knows what she wants, and it's great.
Awesome, thank you. And then we're going to hop down to one of our many dwarves, Harbeck, or Jeff. Hi, Jeff.
Had to find the unmute thing. Hi, everybody. My name is Jeff Ellis. I am a writer, mostly, of D&D adventures and supplements. You can find me on Twitter at Many-Eyed Monster. I play Harbeck, who is a grumpy old goth dwarf who has a very strange artifact with him that last game whispered his name. So that's going to be fun today. I'm very excited for that. Yeah, and that's me.
Awesome, thank you. And then we're going to hop over to Nassim or Javier.
Hey, there we go. I'm Nassim. I am Nazgul on all the social media, and I am playing today Harvia Azalea, aka Harvey, your grandma dwarf, fearless, sassy, and given 0 fucks.
It's like no fucks is given at all by Harvey. I think she spent most of the time lounging in lakes and hot baths so far.
Yeah. She's just having a great time everywhere she goes.
Yeah, this is
She saw a play last session, I think.
And then we're going to hop over to Avery or Nara.
Hello, my name is Avery. I'm Matt Bat on all the social media. I'm playing Nara Ferelmus, who is has generally pieced out of many stressful situations in this game. Recently, last session, she got herself a little letter that she might look into. She might not. She might just ignore it, like she does a lot of things, honestly. No. I'm not here for this. Fuck this shit. I'm out.
Awesome. And last but certainly not least, Guzgid or Spraticus.
Oh, hi! Guzgird I Duke. Last episode I had dinner with some noble after enjoying his bobs, and then I decided to go and visit the Chevaliers to see how they train.
Oh my god. Okay, so last week we learnt some bits. We arrived in Valroyo and we spent a lot of time in the baths. Actually, we had a chance to talk to our tiny little elf boy as well, who gave us a little more insight into Harbeck's cube, or more confusion. I'm not too sure. But there was a lot of chilling, there was a lot of talking, and I think Nara did very well not to kill Guzgid after a while, and she didn't run away. So, and then they went and they had a meeting with Filippo del I can't even say it now, Caltro, who gave them some information about how the Grey Wardens seem to have disappeared. It's the second blight and no one can find any of the Grey Wardens, and they were last seen in the Anderfells near their base. But apart from that, we're going to jump back to where each character was, because guys, they split the party. So we're going to go and see everyone right now, and we're going to start off with Guzgid as he leaves the main city of Valroyo and heads out to, well, you hear them before you see it. You can hear the clash of swords, the clash of shields, people at the training posts. And Guzgid, as you head over this, just a little bit of it's sort of in the outskirts of the city. There's still buildings here, there's taverns, there's things like that. But you see a huge, almost like an armory, and you can hear the horses whinnying in the stables in this sort of courtyard, where you see this chevalier yelling orders with everyone sort of in the full gear with their swords out and doing exactly as they are told and copying and mimicking the moves of their trainer.
Am I right in thinking last episode I remember inquiring about whether any of my ancestors had left any armor at the estate, but there weren't any, correct? I'd have to have it made. Yeah. You
would have to have it made.
So I'll stroll on up in my probably quite formal-looking heavy leather armor, to be fair. Or did I change out my silks? No, I'm still in my silks. I'm gonna head in my silk gown, the red silk gown with the embroidery.
You're still in the silk gown?
Yeah.
Not like a dressing gown.
Yeah, well, not quite a dressing gown. It's like a dressing gown, but he is wearing pants underneath, and also the dressing gown, it's dwarven, so it's got pauldrons.
Okay, so you've got 80 shoulder pads, is what you're telling me?
Yeah, kind of. Metal Shoulder pads, yeah.
Yeah, you can
Fashion
stride up.
designer Nara is having a heart attack right now.
I can't believe we let him go out like this.
Yeah. And there's like gold embroidery all down it as well, so it's it's a sight. The gold probably clashes with the silver of the metal.
Some of them, you see one of the main chevaliers see you coming, and recognizing you because I think your family would stand out, sort of stop and make a quick bow.
Yeah, I bow as well. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm Guzgird Duke. I thought I'd come and see how the Chevaliers train here in Valroyo.
Oh, you're an Idukan, are you? Well, very, very welcome to come join us. You may join in our session, or you can see over there. And he gestures over to almost like a paddock where there's some stand-up dummies and a couple of chevaliers, like, attacking, like, practicing their moves on this.
So is he basically directing me over to the beginner's court?
No, he's just offering you whatever.
Yeah, no, let's, some might consider me a good fighter in Orzammar. Let's see what some of you guys have got, eh?
Well, what, you want to fight us in single combat?
Why not? We can call it an exchange of information.
You can call it that, but single combat. Okay, great. And he just starts clicking, and 4 step forward and take your pick. These are all fabulous chevaliers, and I'm proud to call them my students.
I prefer an axe to a pick.
Explain.
Well, you said take a pick. I prefer an axe to a pick.
I'm sorry, I don't understand your humor.
It's a dwarven joke about mining tools. Don't worry about it. How about this person here? I gesture at one at random.
There are 4 stood here. They all stand tall and to attention. They are all in matching armor. The very fabulous armor. They each hold their helmet underneath their arm. You see 3 men and you see a woman. All stood there. And they give you a nod.
I'll pick at random unless any of them look particularly keen.
Actually, roll me a 1d4 then and we'll pick at random.
Sure. I'm all in for this.
Why is it not loaded for me yet? There we go. 3. So, one of the men steps forward. Very neat, sharp blonde hair, firm jaw, probably quite strikingly good looking. In fact, all of them seem to be. And he steps forward and bows to you. My name is Marken, sir. It is very good to be your opponent for today.
Yeah, Guzgird will also bow. Guzgird Duke, and may this contest bring you honor.
And he sort of gestures, please, over here. And he walks over to a more empty space away from the training. And you can see the chevalier that directed you to these people follows you as well, and sits, sort of leans against the fence watching what happens. And Marken draws his sword and stands opposite you, holds it upright and bows. Whenever you are ready, sir.
Give me 1 second, I'm just figuring out what my armor is without wearing armor.
Yeah, because this guy's in full armor.
That's fine.
This is all fine.
Armor. Okay, it doesn't seem like it's in the quick reference guide. Maybe I could ask one of my fellow colleagues to have a look it up while I carry on with the scene, if anyone would like to volunteer.
What's this one?
Just looking for unarmored armor. I've got a feeling it might be 0.
Oh yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
Because armor
sounds
and
right
defense
then.
are 2 different things.
Yeah. So okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm so ready. Born ready.
Ready. Okay. And he waits for you out of politeness.
Yeah, I sort of step into the ring, unsling my two-handed axe from wherever the hell I slung it on this silk gown, and, well, do you have, like, a starting ritual?
You are an Iduk, and you may go first.
Go first? It's not like chopping down a tree.
Not yet.
Well, come on then, have at you, and I'll charge.
Yeah, roll for me. Roll out an attack.
Oh boy. So this will be strength. I got a lot of that. 11.
At an 11, you don't quite hit. You so close. You sort of, he just steps to the side as you swing past with your axe, and as you do, let's have a look.
I think I should probably say going forward, all of my attacks will be non-lethal.
Oh yeah, no. So are the
yeah.
chevaliers. It's not. None of this is done to kill each other. The 15 hit.
Yeah, that'll be my my current defense, definitely.
Yeah, and he just sort of, we're not going to roll damage because obviously this is he sort of, as you try and swipe at him, he steps aside and almost with the flat edge of his sword, he just whacks you from behind on the low bit of your back and turns around and is ready once more.
Okay, I would like to turn on my heel and use the haft of my axe to trip him.
Roll for me, please. Yes, describe how you do this for me.
So I'll...
Because he's quite smarmily sort of just slap you on the back, on your lower back, with his sword and spun around.
So obviously he's done that to be cheeky more than anything else, right? So I'm going to take what would normally be the axe haft going straight into the shins, an extremely painful bone break. Instead it's the haft, so it hurts a lot, but instead he's just going to lose his footing and fall forwards.
Yeah, you hear as he sort of doesn't see it coming and crashes forward onto the ground.
Roll damage on that as well if you want.
Yeah, no, go for it. This is gonna hurt. Yeah. And you hear the other chevalier shout, it's like, "Get up, man!" Like, sort of, and he jumps up, brushing himself off. And you notice the confidence is gone a little bit. It's shaken him a little bit.
This is no time to be cheeky. And if I can be cheeky myself, I'd like to roll a little intimidate.
If you would like to. Yeah, and you see him not fumble, but this once proud-looking sort of chevalier sort of licks his lips a little bit, and you can see him shifting the grip on his sword, and he just rubs his side a little bit where he fell down. I assure you I was not being cheeky at all. Does a 12 hit?
12 does.
Yeah, and again, using the butt of his sword as he goes to get up, he brings it up and almost flicking it up right into your chin.
Ugh, I'll step into the attack. It's gonna hit me anyway, so I'll step in and I'm gonna try and uppercut him with the pommel strike.
Yeah, roll again. Yeah, you knock him clean over. He's come up and he's hit you in the chin, but as you do that, it's almost like you turn it on itself and you flick it back up, and the chevalier just crumples down onto his knees on the ground, and it's like, "Please, sir, thank you, just a moment." And he sits there on the ground, and you can hear heavy breathing, and with great effort he uses his sword to pull himself.
I had to give him a hand.
He's like, "Thank you."
You fought well, but if you don't want to make your opponent mad, don't do any of that sword cheek slappy stuff. That's...
Like, Sir,
That'll infuriate anyone.
Sir, I am not done. And he pushes away from you. And with a 19, he
Cheeky motherfucker.
he pulls his foot back and boots you right in the chest. And you feel this, like, your wind leave you as you go shooting back across in this dirt. These silks just go up in this puff of, like, dirt and gravel. And he smiles back at you. Now you must fight what you cannot see.
Okay. You son bitch. No problem.
Guskir versus a Chevalier is just... You can see, though, he's like... He is catching his breath, trying.
Yeah, it better be. Okay, so... Guskir's going to charge. He's going to use the charge attack, which I'm just looking up now, but I'm fairly sure it gives me, like, +1 to damage if it hits or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. You move half your total speed and you get +1 to attack. So not damage, but
Attack.
chance to hit.
Cool. So I'm going to just, like, tackle him with the haft of my axe across.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I'm just shoving him into the ground. It's just going to be a ball of Guskir hitting him.
Yep. Yep. That's a hit. Describe this for me.
If he wants to fight dirty, we're fighting dirty. Fine, down we go into the mud.
Okay, so all I see is Guskir comes, like this little ball of fury comes crashing into the Chevalier's stomach. And with your height, he almost bends over in half as you take out his legs from underneath him. And this Chevalier in this shiny new armor, these reds and blues and whites comes crashing down into the dirt with you. And you're effectively sat on top of him with this axe over him. And he's like, ah! And he tries to hit back. On a 17, he pushes this axe. This is not enough, like you're still there. You're sort of held in place. Before you see his arms bend and he just shoves it right into it. It doesn't hurt, but sort of into your collarbone and pushes you off. But he does still lay on the floor coughing with all this dust that's coming out and he sort of rolls over to the side.
Okay, so I don't think I've actually avoided one of his attacks yet, so I'm going to start using all-out attacks, which minuses 1 from my defense, giving him more chance to hit me, which seems to be a dead cert anyway. But it also means that I get a +1 to damage, so I'm going to start just, like, brutally thumping him on the ground. That is my current plan. Just...
Yeah. An 11 does just hit.
Yes! Stunt point, stunt point, stunt point.
Just.
What can I do with 1 stunt point?
Hang on.
You have 6 stunt points.
Yes.
You roll double ones, but we take the third number.
This
for the
third
dragon.
dice is the dragon dice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the combat stunt that I'm going to do is called Lethal Blow, but I'm going to do it non-lethally, if that's okay.
I'd like to do a non-lethal lethal.
I'd like to do a non-lethal lethal blow.
Yes, how do you finish off this Chevalier?
I just start punching him in the nose. I drop my axe altogether and I'm just wailing on his face.
Yeah, this Chevalier lays there. He's got his gauntlets up trying to protect his face as you find every single area as you're sat on top of him, just wailing on him before he throws his sword down and lays there, sort of holding his face like, and he, please stop. I need to go to the ball tonight. I can't. As he's like trying to feel his nose, but you can see it's now slightly wonky in shape. You've definitely broken this nose as blood sort of, it's not a lot of damage, but noses bleed a lot. So there's a lot of mess. You see the blood in the dirt.
I fear I may have lost sight of my intentions during this fight.
No, I have a date tonight.
So Guskir will stand and sort of like realise that now his silk gown is muddy as all hell, and he's sort of bloodied this Chevalier.
Who's now rolling, like he's rolled over. He's sort of crouched up, head on the floor, just holding his nose. And from behind you, you hear as the other Chevalier stands. by the fence. You fight well, Lydukin. Bloodily, but you fight well.
So do your men, to be fair. I wasn't expecting so much of a challenge.
They are good men. I
Indeed.
train them. Good men and women is good to have in times such as these.
You've trained them well.
Thank you.
Do you have refreshments or anything here at this training ground?
Of course. What is it you are after? It is, and he sort of gestures over to almost like a table, but it's got big kegs on, bottles of wine.
Perhaps we can take a drink together. Maybe discuss this evening's entertainment.
If you wish. And he sort of opens the gate to this. We've got a double echo. Opens the gate from this paddock, and just leaving this other chevalier on the dirt in the ground. You can see one of the others run over to him and help him up. But this commander effectively leads you over to the table. Would you like an ale or a wine?
I am very fond of ale.
Good. And he takes out this tankard and just starts pouring, and you can smell that sort of wheatiness sort of already, and it's probably quite refreshing on a hot day as he hands it to you and takes one for himself. To your good health.
And same to you.
So I hear you're going to the ball tonight.
Indeed. I don't know if you've heard of the trouble over in Orzammar.
I have not. You have problems over there at the moment?
You could say that. You could say soon we're all gonna have a lot of problems. It would seem that the blight wasn't a one-time thing.
I have heard such rumors that the blight is returned. And no offense to anyone, but I'll believe it when I see it.
Well, I've just come straight from Orzammar, friend. We couldn't even get in the gate.
Darkspawn?
Darkspawn, ogres, one of them flying things.
Oh, you mean a dragon? Yes, we do have a few of those in the area, though I suspect not the one you're talking about.
I've not heard them be called dragons. I've heard them be called demons and archdemons and all that sort of thing.
Some do give them that name. And you can see him not shudder, but like he loses his composure a little bit. He's like, I have never seen a darkspawn.
That's how you really know when you're fighting. Fighting a man's one thing, but fighting a darkspawn...
Isn't it just slightly taller man? Slightly more... And he looks back at the chevalier. Cheeky?
No cheeky whatsoever. They're the sort of people that would bite your ear off, given half a chance.
I have met some humans that do that.
Yeah, they probably learned it from the Darkspawn. No, in all seriousness, if you want a real test of your might, put yourself up against the Darkspawn and check your pants afterwards.
Well, maybe. If all you're saying is correct and true, it won't be too long until I do. I know there is a meeting this evening about the problems we are experiencing in the Anderfells. And if you say Orzammar, which means it has spread to Ferelden.
Yeah, forgive me, I've never really been above the surface. Honestly, I'm still kind of put off by the sky.
Oh, I have heard that freaks you,
Yeah, let's not talk about it. Let's not
out.
talk about it. But my point is, I don't know the names of the places between here and Orzammar. But most of them have already been wiped out by the Darkspawn.
Ah. So we are in the middle of it. Quite literally. Well, maybe I should train my chevaliers a little harder.
If I were you, I'd get them to give up that cheeky business. It just wastes energy. You're gonna make a hit, make it count.
I do train them to do that.
Oh.
He's probably, and he gives like a side eye over to Markin. Just like, I'm pretty glad you broke his nose. He might learn that way.
Oh, well, that's a relief. I was kind of worried about that. In that case, you're welcome. Anytime.
No problem.
You want a chevalier's nose broken, you know where to find me.
Okay, I mean, it ruined his pretty face, which should actually do him some good.
Guzgid sort of wipes his own face, which is bearded, and by dwarven standards, it's probably actually quite pretty. His nose has been broken a couple of times, but
you're a pretty little
not
dwarf.
too bad. And he'd be like, well, you know, most people can't find much affection until they've broken their face a few times anyway. You know, it shows might, shows good willpower, fortitude.
I guess. He doesn't really know what to say to that. I just want them to train and fight well.
Very noble. Well, we're going to petition the person, you know, the important one, about the blight and getting aid. Can I look to you for support?
You can look to me for support. Just maybe, and he looks you up and down. He's like, don't go to the ball and approach the divine like that.
Oh, yeah, no. I'm going to go and get changed now.
With all due respect, it's just...
I don't suppose you've got any dwarven-sized outfits, have you? Chevalier armor?
We did have 2 dwarven chevalier volunteers at one point, if you wish to try on one of their armors.
Well, I'm otherwise gonna have to have some made, and if the Darkspawn arrive tonight, there may not be time, so I would appreciate some heavy armor.
I will send some your way.
Do you have any dwarven recruits at the minute?
No, they were actually sent off scouting. They seem to be pretty good at it, but they have not yet returned.
Well,
now I wonder why.
Yeah, bad news, friend, bad news. Oh, well, there's more than one of my contingent here. There's the Ufkarok family and some other dusters with us. If you could send both sets of armor, I'd mightily appreciate it.
Then it shall be done.
You have my thanks, and I'm sure I will repay you in the future.
I am sure you will, and you will always have the services of the Chevaliers. Maybe not that one.
I'm sure he'll get less sore once he's put his nose straight.
He'll get over it.
Well, thanking you kindly, my friend. I'm gonna head back to my chalet, and I feel great.
Okay. So Guzgid starts making his way back to Valroyo, covered in dirt, blood.
But he's like skipping. Like, you know the adverts when they're like, you know, summer breeze. That's how he's walking right now.
You head back to Valroyo and to like the mansion sort of house where you were staying.
Yeah.
And
I hate to be pampered, but it's gonna be time for another bath, get changed, you know.
Yeah, I mean, is Huldra still in the baths? Because everyone else left, but Huldra was pretty chill about it. So
Yeah, she was kind of chill, but she head out to the bar, so she's not there.
yeah.
She was just, I don't know if she might have come back. Like, I didn't. Unless you're gonna like throw something at me, Hulra went to the bar, like tried to make awkward conversations with some strangers, and like, yeah, Doomsday's here, and then headed back. And
you can head back to the mansion, and as you're coming back to this sort of mansion thing, you see a very grubby, bloody Guzgid almost skipping his way back through the main door.
I am conflicted. Guzgid, are you feeling alright?
Oh, I'm feeling just grand. Huldra, how are you?
I am good. I am not covered in blood, and that's great.
More
you
full,
wanna-
really. It's a good feeling.
It is. That's why I'm asking if you feel alright. Is that your blood?
Some of it might be.
Can I ask you what happened?
Oh, I went to meet with the Chevaliers. We've gained their support for the this evening's meeting.
Did you kill one of them and threaten them to aid you? Otherwise, you would kill them all.
Do you think that would have worked?
Maybe. I mean, did you do it?
Oh no, I didn't. No. I beat one of them in combat and had drinks with their commander. It was actually quite pleasant.
That sounds like a better outcome. That's good for you, I guess. I've been away like an hour to the bar, and you okay? That's all right. I see you later. And she's like, I don't even know.
Where are you going?
That's true. I thought we had rooms, but I don't think we actually got any.
You weren't sent them, but you were assigned them, so you can find a room.
I'm gonna find a room then.
A servant, you'll see a young elf that will probably lead you to a room, and as the door is open to you, this is over the top Orlesian gaudiness. This is, you've got a 4-poster bed, which you probably just about fit in. And it seems to have like a gold woven into the wood, and it is carved intricately, so much so you have to get really close to see all the vines and flowers and buds on this. There is a huge fireplace and a wardrobe, and the elf bows before leaving you.
Is this mine?
Yes.
So I'm supposed to sleep here, am I correct?
If you wish to sleep, you may sleep here.
And I close the door. Bye. Thank you. Close the door.
Oh. Just sort of hurries off.
It's like just close the door and like I feel so uncomfortable right now, and I know exactly this feeling because I've actually been in those kind of like golden rooms, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't touch anything. I can't do anything.
Yeah, you're left in this room.
Okay.
Are you like taking a nap?
Holdra is gonna. Is there a map in this room?
There is no map in this room. This looks like literally for sleeping and comfort. You see like a chaiselong on the side underneath the window. Like, this is over the top.
No, okay. I'm like, well, I'm not gonna be able to sleep here tonight. And I go out.
Yeah, you head back out and you can just wander these streets.
Yeah, fancy stuff makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, you can wander around down more by the dock area, as you feel that it gets less and less decorative on its way down there.
Okay, I think Holra does not know what to do, really. No, she doesn't know what to do. She's like, I thought we were gonna travel and we're not traveling.
Yeah, Huldra can wander, and you'll probably end up seeing like Nara or someone. You'll see faces on the way.
If I see Nara on the way, I'm just gonna like, hello, companion. What are you up to?
Is this before or after I have the note?
This is probably just after you have had the note.
Gotta go back!
Huldra, you have just seen Nara stood in this town square, in this city square, holding a piece of paper.
Okay.
Yeah.
My comment still stands. I still say that.
This is good. I think you scare her a little bit. I think she's looking at this note, and then like the moment she hears your voice, she's like, I manages to like slip out like in the like her gauntlet or something.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. What?
It's quite all right. Everything recently has everybody a little bit jumpy. How are you finding Valbro?
fancy and glittery. I do not like it.
Yes, it is. It is an acquired taste.
It is too much for my taste.
She'll. I think before I get into anything with that letter, because you said it was like written out and it was folded very meticulously. Yeah.
Yes.
Is that a mannerism I recognize at all? Like,
You may know it, not necessarily because of that this person always folds letters meticulously or anything. This is someone who takes care and is very good at the little details. And yet
okay.
probably would recognize it.
Yeah, so it's familiar already, so I'm not like, oh fuck, who the fuck?
Yeah.
Alrighty. But no, she's got it tucked away. Like, like the arm guard for her Audrey, and it's just like, I mean, have you had a look around town yet?
Yes, a little bit. I think I've seen a lot of it. I've been quite restless. I guess it's like there's a little shop over there that sells necklaces. There's one over there. If you go 500 meters and then turn right, you can find a nice little, like, they only sell bow ties. Only bow ties.
It's a rather interesting speciality. I mean, they're not that hard to make.
I know.
You seem to have the lay of the land pretty mapped out. You wouldn't have happened to seen like some kind of armory or anything, or like a weapon, like a blacksmith. I'm in the market for maybe something small, something sneaky.
I'm looking at you, Alex.
Yeah, you will have walked past quite a few stalls, and I say stalls lightly. These are sort of shops built into these very grand buildings. There's a stall on the outside, but you can go in, and there seems to be a lot of, when you go into a shop and you immediately set upon the "Hi, how can I help you? Welcome to our store." There's a lot of people.
Oh no, is that kind of stuff where you have to buy like the cheapest little thing just to get?
Yeah, you feel bad because if you leave without buying anything. Yeah, so if you know of a place where I could find maybe a dagger or something, considering I've gifted mine to our dear elven friend, and I've realized now that I've left myself, okay, out of character, I've realized I've left myself without any kind of melee weapon. I'm like, no.
So you don't have any weapons?
I have, and she gestures to the bow, like over her shoulder. It's like, I have weapons. It's just that I need something just in case something were to come up close. Not that I would ever let it, but always good to be prepared.
Yeah, it's always good to be prepared. I'll take you to the closest one.
Yeah, you all head over to this this shop with the big blue doors that almost like a sapphire in color and gold handles, and they open into this room, this sort of domed room. And you can hear an armory or a blacksmith somewhere, but you're guessing it's being hidden because it's unsightly. And you walk into this this store, and this very prim and proper lady stands there in this very wide skirt, almost a corset-like top, billowing sleeves, and a mask that sits just over her eyes. And she stands there with her gloved hands clasped together. And all around her, you see these cases with different blades in them.
Yeah, Nara will walk in and give her like a nod of the head, acknowledgement.
She nods back.
Right.
I go in and I have to duck a little bit under the door, and I give a little.
And she just nods again. Her mouth doesn't smile, it doesn't frown. It just stays exactly as it is in a straight line.
I'm intimidated.
Welcome to LA.
It's like, shit, customer service people can do this? I'd like to just look around, like, kind of recognizing the fact that like this is a place where like because being in the merchant caste, you know, you're pretty accustomed to like people yelling for their wares and like gesturing people over. I think immediately Nara's realized that this is a place where the wares speak for themselves. And she's gonna go straight and look at some daggers or whatnot. She's looking for something that is very easily hidden. It would probably be. I don't know how far like currency goes, but I know you could roll for it before. I have no idea how much money I have exactly. But God, a wristblade would be sick.
You can look around this store, and there are some seriously beautiful blades in here. Ones that are just completely straight into a point. Some are curved, some are hooked, some have quite a nasty looking hook on the end of some of them. They're quite small. These look like they're normally hidden up sleeves or probably tucked under a skirt or in boots or something like that. Every single one is decorated ornately. Everything is meticulous and everything is different.
I guess they don't have like an Assassin's Creed hidden blade.
There's not necessarily exactly like that, but you can probably find something similar.
I thought you could say you can probably build it.
Yeah. And after a while of you looking, this woman sort of shuffles, because it's a shuffle. This skirt is like static.
Oh God.
As she sort of shuffles over to you, may I help you at all?
Forgive me for dawdling. It's just that your wares are exquisite. There's a lot to take in.
Well, that's very, very kind of you. As I know it, you are... And she looks you up and down and then looks over to Huldra. You are Iduken's guests, are you not? I'm sorry, word travels fast.
It's quite alright. I've kind of picked that up from this place. Yes, we're with Iduken.
Interesting. Okay.
Unfortunately.
Is there anything I can get you at all?
She just kind of sits there and ponders for a bit. She's still looking at the blades. I'm just like, I'm looking for something small, something easily hidden.
Easily hidden for underskirts in a boot or up a sleeve, or what is it you are after exactly? As you can see, we have great variety. Or some of these gifts. Is it a gift for someone?
No, this one's for me. And they have a great variety. Words don't do them justice. I'm looking for something perhaps either hidden in a boot or perhaps even attached to a sleeve. Even so, she shows that she's got, because like one arm's bare and the other arm has like the just like a forearm guard for archery.
And she looks over you for a second, and you don't think she's looking down at you at all. You think she's trying to assess where you can hide something. And the first thing she does is walk over and say, well, we have this rather beautiful dagger. And she heads over, and it's in its sheath, and she pulls it out, and it is literally a straight dagger about this long. And the sheath itself almost looks like it's made of red velvet, with the seals at the top gold inlaid with emeralds and rubies. And then the hilt itself is very much the same in decoration. And you can see a lot of ornate carvings in the hilt to fix in these jewels and this gold. And you can see a few chantry symbols on the top of this. Or we have some other things, and she sees. You can see these very, very small blades as they sit on their own. She's like, I mean, people normally throw them, but and she just, without thinking, grabs your arm, where your archery arm's like, I mean, I couldn't touch it to this. It's a bit. Would you like something different than this? I mean, I've got much better.
If you have it, I admit. Where I come from, I just kind of made the most of what I had.
Well, that's understandable. Don't worry, you poor thing. And
Poor dear.
She heads over. She's like, I can attach it to one of these, and it's very much like this leather bracer that you have, but it is over the top. Again, it's Orlesian. It's horrifically over the top. You've got dragons and jewels sort of woven into it, and almost like a a gold thread that runs through it. So the only thing I will say is, well, look at this. And she presses like the button that would normally sit there. And I say a button, it's more of like a leather pole, and a blade pops out the top. And she says, the reason the leather pole is here because, oh my god, some stupid people have so many accidents. You put it anywhere else, straight through their hand.
She'll laugh like pretty good naturedly at that. Like, Huldra watching her, or that you can tell that she's kind of putting on a bit of a face here. In that, like, you don't fuck with a merchant because they will fuck you up.
And she looks at it, I mean, I use these myself. And then you suddenly realize what she's wearing. She's probably hiding a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's like just like shakes her skirt and all these daggers fall out.
Yeah, we can hear like the clink clink.
Clank, 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 clank. Nah.
Or we can go for something very fetching. And this large hat she wears, a bit like what Harvey has. There's this beautiful like brooch with all these feathers on, and as she pulls it out, it actually pulls a very long dagger blade.
This is fucking amazing.
And she's like, I mean, you could have something like this. It's, you know, it's never. And then she pops it back in. She's like, you never know when you could lose the game.
I think she's smiling at this point, like looking at this. I think she's recognized another roguey type, I guess. And I was like, I am beyond impressed. May I? And she gestures to like the wrist blade thing,
Please?
or the yeah. So may I try this on, please?
Of course.
Would I recommend that you look how much money you have and then select the best one out of the budget you have? So
Are you whispering this, or are you saying it in front of?
In front of, yes.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
She leans, so not down to you, but she says, I thought you were with the Idukan.
The Yadukan doesn't favor me too much.
Oh.
However, if we want to put it on his tab...
He does have an account here, his whole family do, so it is up to you.
You see, I'm torn. On the one hand, this is...
You're messing it up. Like, and she sort of turns her arm over, and she starts lacing. It's almost like a ribbon that's winding these up, but this is much tougher than normal ribbon.
Like
it looks reinforced with something, and she's lacing it around your arm. And then she's like, and you see there, that's the pull. You pull that, out goes the blade, and then just get rid of whatever problem you have.
Yes, well, I'm torn because this is an exquisite piece, but I'm not sure if the Idukans would appreciate owing anybody any favors.
And she looks at you, and you can probably tell that she's spoken with all of the Idukans as they're regular as they come in here. And she probably also recognizes that you are not wearing the royal sort of gear that they do. So if you are in the company of an Idukan, that's good enough for me. Because if you put up with their shit as much as everyone else does, I'd say you deserve a little treat.
Nara openly laughs at this. And she just goes like, finally someone understands.
And you see she sort of smiles. She's like, well, are you guarding him? Are you protecting him? Not needs it to be fair, but if you travel with him, they are quite brash, all of them.
Yeah, let's say that we have a bit of history.
I don't want to know it. And she sort of...
I don't. That's quite alright. I don't want to discuss it. If we're going on... Can I... If I'd like to look at the other daggers and just pick up one that's probably just ornate.
Yeah, if you want one
And,
that's literally just for show.
Just to show, like a display one as well.
Now there's a couple. Are you looking? There's one with just the straight up blades, and then there's others that are slightly curved. But you do see one in particular, which you can tell. Do you know what? It will cause harm, but it's definitely more for show than anything else. And you see this steel blade, and the handle itself is not metal. It looks to be some sort of green emerald-like stone carved into a handle. A few sort of almost like quartz jewels pressed into it, and the gold attaches it to this blade.
I think I will put this on our dear friend Idukin's tab.
Excellent.
In that case, I also have one.
Would you like something similar, or
Do you have a sword?
no? I can't walk around with a sword.
That's true.
You can. It would just be very obvious.
Oh yeah, I'm not trying to hide anything.
No, but we are.
Do you have
Rogues.
a big? What's the biggest weapon you have?
She literally looks around and has a slightly larger dagger.
Okay, like how big is this for Holdra? Like,
It's like a butter knife.
It's a fairly large dagger.
oh,
With
it's
a curved sort of almost like crescent moon shaped blade, but that's it.
that's fine. Well,
You don't see people walking around Val Royale with big axes or swords. Because we don't want you to see the weapons we have.
Oh yeah, I'm not from here. We
know.
kind of like to show off what we have.
Yes, but not in
Well, some of us do.
Val Royale.
I'll take it. She doesn't care. She just wants a big weapon.
Yeah. She sees this. She pulls this blade out and she's like, "We don't need to make a statement with our weapons. So, yes, we don't want you to know what we can use until we use it. But this should be sufficient if you can wield it."
Yes. That's a lie.
And like she notices, and she holds it upright and she's like, "We'll stick the pointy end into the other one." Right?
Yeah, yes, I'm fully aware of that.
Good. And you can see her head over to a desk and take out a quill and start to scratch and like write down something in one of the ledgers. And then she takes her position again as you both have your weapons and just stands and waits.
Apologies. May I add this to the Aducan tab as well? And I'd like to point to that blade with the gemstone handle.
Is that? Yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
We buy the store.
This one's not for me, I'm afraid. This one is a gift.
Okay.
So,
Absolutely.
I'd like to take that one.
If
And,
this gift is received well, please tell them where you got it.
Of course.
Thank you.
After all, word does get around quite quickly here. And I'll make sure to speak highly of you.
And she just bows her head and almost turns as if she's ignoring you, but she's just waiting for another customer.
A person, that's fair. No, I think Nara understands that this is a different merchant thing, but she gets it. But she'll bow as well and head out.
Hulda makes a little hand gesture, like bye, and leaves with the weapon on her hip.
And
Nara will look it over. Not bad.
as this happens, as you leave this shop, we're going to hop over to Harbeck, who is just walking to a very bustling pub full of music and full of just song merriment. and it's exactly. And there's a couple of people in the corner, and they're singing. They've got their instruments out, and you can see every table is full. This is packed. You can see a wide variety of people here. It is mainly elves and humans, but you do see the odd sort of dwarf here and there. But you can spot a dwarf that has been away from the stone for a long time. These look so human, in fact, in their mannerisms and everything else. But you step into this place.
Yeah, so I originally came here looking for a dwarf from Kalsharok. So very noticeably different from Orzammar dwarves and surface dwarves.
Oh, you see him. You see him in the far corner. You see a dwarf sat at a table with some others. It doesn't look like he's with them. It looks like they found a space at a table.
Right.
And he's got his head down on this table. His hair sort of flopped over, beard. You can see like almost like a puddle on this table, and he's got his hand up with this tankard. Beer has sort of you can tell he sort of dropped some of it as it sort of leaks over the table.
Harbeck is gonna kind of survey the tavern a little bit, and then he's going to walk just in a straight line, sort of pushing through the crowd to this table, and he is going to look at everyone else at the table, and he's just going to toss basically one gold piece each onto it. And he's going to say, "Yeah, get lost."
And one of the people look up. It's like, 1 gold. I'm Orlesian. As he sort of like leans forward with this wine in his hand. You can see this guy's pretty drunk.
Mm-hmm.
1 gold.
Harbeck is going to take a fistful of his hair and lean forward, and he says, "And I'm dwarven. You can take the gold, or you can take a hell of a lot more.
He's just like, oh,
Clear out."
Oh God, so touchy. Like, and he sort of like shoves your hand away and gets up. He takes the gold.
Oh yeah.
So he has moved on for that. But yeah, you are left at this table, but this dwarf is face down, and there's this other Orlesian who was with him, sees you do this, and is like, again, very drunk, sort of stumbles up, like, where? And sort of hurries off over to the bar area.
Harbeck sits down, and he doesn't really say anything for a while. He's rubbing the puzzle cube in his hand, and he's just heard it like whisper his name as he got near this other dwarf, and he's looking at him, and then finally he's just gonna like rap his knuckles on the table really loud, like right next to his head.
And as you do this, you just see a hand cut there. No, thank you. No, thank you. Freaking Norwegians, like, as they sort of, yes, the chair is spare.
Oh, could I borrow this chair, please? Look, friend, I'm not Orlesian. I'm dwarven.
And as you say that, the head goes up, and you see this fairly old face, but there is a piece of material across this dwarf's eyes, tied at the back. Like, we don't sound Orlesian.
Yeah, that's fair. And Harbeck kind of like is looking him over a little bit. Is he in like rags, or is he?
He's not in rags. He's in leather armor, but it looks worn. It looks like maybe he didn't want to wear the Orlesian stuff, and he refused to take off his dwarven armor. It's more that sort of feel than anything.
Does he have any castless marks on his face?
You see one,
Mhm.
and it's almost like he's put something over it to hide it.
Mm-hmm. You been out of Cal Shirok long?
Why do I need to tell you my life story? And he just sort of drunkenly, you can't see his eyes, but it feels like he's looking at you. He's following your voice in your direction.
Mm-hmm. What are you drinking?
Ale. What are you drinking?
Nothing yet.
Well,
I'm
why?
gonna-
What kind of dwarf are you?
Well, used to be warrior caste. Suppose I'm same as you now, except for one key difference that is incredibly important to me. You just wait right here. I'll get you something else.
Fine. And he just puts his head back down on the table.
Harbeck is going to stand up, walk to the bar, walk around behind the bar, and look for like just a bucket of like their like mop water.
Yeah, you can see a bucket around the side. But as you're like leaning down, you see 2 decorative boots stand
Mhm.
in your eyeline. What are you doing?
Says he takes the bucket and he hefts it up and he looks up at the person and says, "I'm just helping you clean up the place." And he's just gonna walk away from this person without a word.
And she said, I don't care what you're doing with it, but bring the buckets back. And you see it like turn back and start serving drinks again.
And Harbeck is just going to upend this whole bucket on top of this dwarf.
And you just hear, "Ah!" like as he sort of springs up. And again, he looks, Mac, he can't see you, but he looks around. And he quickly draws this dagger. It's like,
Harbeck is going to step into his like space, basically in, and put one hand on the like pommel of the dagger before he like fully draws it, and one hand on his shoulder firmly, not overly aggressively, not putting a ton of pressure, but almost more just like steadying him. He
yeah.
obviously acknowledges that this person can't see and is just like, set him there, and he's going to lean into his ear and he says, I need you to wake up real fast, and I need you to give me some answers.
And he's like, awake.
Good.
I'm awake.
Good. And he's gonna just kind of step away and let him do his own thing and sit back down.
You see, he sort of sobers up quite quickly, and he sort of just like squeezes his beard and his hair, and this water just drips out of it. He's like, it's not the drink I was after.
Yeah, well, I imagine you've had quite enough of the drink you are after.
What do you want?
Kalsharok. How do I get to it from the surface?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't lie to me.
I'm not lying. You don't want to go there.
I do. I need to, in fact.
You don't want to go there.
He leans back and kind of takes a deep breath. Look, Orzamar's fallen.
I know.
And what about Kalsharok?
And he just shakes his head. What do you think's in Kalsharok?
He's going to take the puzzle cube and he's going to set it on the table between the two of them. 1, I think there's answers. 2, I think there's a way to heal what the dwarven people have lost.
And as you put this cube on the table, You see him pull his hands up to his ears. Turn it off. Stop it. Put it away.
Harbeck kind of eyes him first.
And he sort of goes to reach out, but it's almost like he gets a static. And he's like, you shouldn't have one of those.
No, I don't think I really should.
No.
I've seen it do things.
What have you seen it do?
It got me out of the deep roads, for one.
How?
And Harbeck kind of gets real quiet. And he sort of just gets like a long stare for a while. He says, savagely. Brutally.
Then you've seen nothing.
Yeah. Part of me is afraid of that, and part of me realizes that it could be a weapon to end this blight.
And he sits back and laughs quite loudly, like an over-the-top laugh, and comes in. Oh, you are a young me.
Yeah?
I'm
Tell me
sorry.
about it.
You don't want to be a young me. Change your course. Don't go looking for it. Don't find it. Ruins everything. You'll hear them whispering from the stone. From the cube. I'm assuming that's what's in front of me.
Yeah, that's right. I already hear a bit of it.
Get rid of it. It will consume you.
Harbeck is going to, he takes the cube, but he doesn't really put it away. He's just kind of holding it and sort of just like fidgeting with it. There's a lot to this. A lot. I feel like there's a lot of answers to questions I've had most of my life. I want the dwarven people. Go for it.
No, he's almost looking past you because he doesn't know exactly where you are. But you get that unnerving feeling because you can hear his breath quicken.
Mm-hmm.
Probably out of nervousness.
You found answers for this, didn't you? You found ways to use it.
You never find answers, just more questions. That. What do you think that is? What do you think made it?
He looks down at it. I've been thinking about it for years, really. You know what I found? What I found beside me, near me, when I woke up next to this thing? Dwarves. 2 of them. Dead.
Lucky them.
Markings on them, like I've never seen in Orzammar.
You won't find it in Orzammar.
I don't think I will.
They closed the tunnels for a reason.
They cut off an entire kingdom from safety from the stone.
It's not the sky we should fear.
You've been up here too long.
No, I haven't been up here long enough.
It's interesting. Oh, nice. Got yourself a tasty bev.
Yes, I'll put it on my tab. It's funny enough on the Aducan tab.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's a really good tab I hear. He says, he sort of kind of prestidigitates the cube away. He like slips it into his sleeve. What's your name?
Grim.
It's fitting.
Good, I chose it.
You got a family name, a house name?
If I do, I don't remember.
That. Harbeck's face hangs like that, like hits him like a legit, like physical blow. How long have you been on the surface?
I don't know. I don't know when I entered this tavern. It'll eat you up. It's horrible. It burns.
It's not made by Darkspawn.
No,
I can tell that.
it's not made by Darkspawn. It's made by dwarves. And something else.
Something in Kalsharok.
And he just gives you a slow, fairly grim, ironically, nod. Don't seek it out. It will end you. Harbeck.
He kind of he stands up, and then he doesn't for a second like say anything. He doesn't necessarily know like why he even like stood up, and then he just kind of collects himself and he says, I don't suppose there's really much I can do to convince you to tell me how to get to Kalsharok from here.
I don't know the way. I wasn't lying. It won't let me remember.
He kind of he walks past the past Grim to the bar, and he sets the bucket on the counter on the bar. He says, wash this out, fill it with ale, put it on the Hadouken tab. And then he gestures kind of back towards Grim, and then he just leaves.
On your way out, as you turn to leave out the door, you feel an arm grab you, and it is Grim. And he's just shaking his head. Please. You can't go back. You can't go there. It will do things to you. You can hear it. You can hear it in every inch of your being. It was a mistake. If you find it, you could ruin everything.
He looks down at Graham and he says, part of me wants to believe you.
What will it take? Don't go there. Don't go there. It hurts. It burns. You can feel it. It's growing. It's whispering. You can hear it. You heard it. You heard it whisper your name. That's how I know your name.
He pulls away from Grim and he says, when it started talking to you, part of you knew that it was already over, right? Part of you understood that whatever this thing is, it's in you. It's not going away.
And he nods. You haven't found it yet. don't, you will lose everything. I'm a dead man walking.
Part of me is fairly sure I lost everything in Orzammar anyway. And he's just gonna push through the door and leave.
And he calls after you, just briefly. You think you have troubles now. And he starts to pull down this blindfold. And you see 2 red eyes. The veins from the eyes have spread out and they're glowing. Like there's a magic swirling around his face. You won't have seen this before, but you've seen something similar. And he pulls it back up and covers his eyes again. Could you make me a perception check, please?
And once I find, a clean pair of pants. 13.
On a 13, you've seen this before. Not in eyes, in rock.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen blue lyrium. You've
Yeah.
mined blue lyrium.
Mm-hmm.
This is red. And he turns, takes his bucket, and goes and places his head back down on the table. Harvey. How are you in this tavern?
Where is Harbeck positioned right now in the tavern?
I think he just left. Like he's on
Yeah.
the door's
Oh,
open,
okay.
but you would
Yeah.
have seen him confront this and then walk out the door.
Okay. Harvey had pretty much just been tailing him and sat in the whatever darkest corner she could find back to him. But also not farther than like just 10 feet away. She'd left her very noticeable hat and shiny new boots behind so that she could blend in a little bit easier. And tried her best to not turn around when the mask was being revealed. But now that he's gone, I want to try and talk to the guy that he was just talking to.
Yeah, this dwarf is face down, almost hugging this bucket of ale. Are you approaching him?
Yeah. I just sit down right next to him with my own ale.
His head comes straight up. Hello, Harvey.
Hello there, Grim.
Hello.
What was all this mystery talk about the cube? Being pretty vague there to my friend.
What cube?
What's happened to you since the last time I saw you?
Things happen. How's your husband?
Well, he's not with us anymore. The first blight made sure of that. So you shouldn't be doubting for a second that there's another one coming.
I remember we went our separate ways. He fought the blight and I went to find the city. Oh, I wish I'd fought the blight.
Yeah, who knows what would have happened if you had been around to help, but the past is the past. I'm concerned about this cube thing. You sounded like you knew what was going on.
And he just slowly nods and he takes this bucket and just starts swigging before putting it back down again. He can't go looking for it.
I want to do a knowledge
Mm-hmm.
on the red glowy thing that's happening and see if I could understand what's happened to him.
I almost feel like if you do this knowledge, I think I want Jeff to describe what red lyrium is to you, since he's... Because I'd say you'd know what lyrium is. In fact,
Yeah.
you might have heard tales of what? Lyrium is the dwarves you would have seen would have mined this blue lyrium.
Mm-hmm.
Effectively a resource for mages that gives them the abilities they have, the magic they have. Think of it as mana. Red lyrium is something people probably either don't know exists or know exactly what it is, and it's not good.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a disease than anything else. That's probably all you would know about it.
Okay. So you went...
You know this man is going to die. Probably very soon.
Mm-hmm. Do I know basically the source of the red lyrium, though? It's something that needs to be mined as well?
Not necessarily. This is, again, you will have never seen this. This is almost like a tale. Like, this is something that only the dwarves know about. This is not... And again, it's make-believe. This stuff isn't real. Some people have never even heard of it before.
Mm-hmm. Have you sought anyone out to help you out with this rash-looking thing on you?
Mages can't help. I asked one to help. He didn't help. He made it worse. And he sort of turns his arms over and pulls up his sleeves. And you see where his veins would be just run red and glow.
Ugh.
He liked it.
Who's that mage?
A mage. A man. I don't know. I didn't see his face. But his voice was sweet and musical. He said he'd help. Didn't help.
That was in this city?
And he just slowly nods. He was at the palace.
Well, oh, the music change right there was perfect.
I'm sorry, it literally went perfect with Jeff as well. Jeff went, no.
Okay. I gesture to the bartender to repeatedly fill up the bucket as much as he wants and put it on the Adukin's tab. And
It's going sky high.
Yeah. I put my hand on Grim's shoulder and I say, I'm sorry to see you this way, but...
I'm sorry your husband is no longer with us. But
thank you.
It may be for the best.
Yeah,
That
I'm sure he's...
dwarf friend of yours, don't let him seek it out.
I don't want that thing even near him right now. So...
And he leans forward. It's not the only one. And he proceeds and just puts his head back down on the table. And you hear a snore.
What time of day is it right now?
It's sort of coming up to like mid-afternoon.
Okay.
He's probably been drinking all day, and you can guess the day before. You might even think he hasn't left this tavern yet.
Well, now that he's passed out, Harvey's gonna get up and head on back to the palace. It's time for her own nap.
Yeah. And we're gonna hop back to Huldra and Nara. What are you doing?
How long, like, is this immediately after we've gone to the shop, or has it a bit of time
some time's
passed?
gone by. You can see it's starting not to get dark, but the afternoon is setting.
Yeah.
Sort of got like a golden glow across everything.
Okay. Well, I was going to go look for Ariana for a little bit, as she stormed off in a bit of a huff. If you wish to join me, I think she might need some company.
Yes, I honestly don't have anything better to do right now. And I would
Right,
like
okay.
some company.
That's right, yeah. Wouldn't mind the company myself. And as they're walking, I think she gestures to that blaze. Like, have you used a dagger before?
I have used
Proper.
the dagger, yes.
One like that? Because this one has like a curved blade, yeah?
Not exactly curved, no. It's straight ones. Between you and me, I was never really efficient with blades, but I have used a lot of blades.
Well, considering that your ability is the one that we'd want to, something that we'd want to keep under wraps, if we have a free moment, I'm happy to teach you a little bit. I mean, I'm not too great myself, but I suppose we could learn together, right?
Yes, I would really appreciate that. Thank you.
You
So,
are stood in a courtyard in Valroyo. It's closer to the docks. You can see there's a lot of like passageways, there's a lot of alleyways. You can see almost like a balcony type thing that looks out over the sea. You see lots of people laughing and chatting, some people just murmuring and almost whispering to each other as they see you two together, which looks quite odd.
a motley crew.
And as you do this, in fact, both of you roll a perception check for me.
Oh, I'm
Right.
gonna roll the best.
Would anything that's happening count towards hearing or not?
Yeah, no, I definitely say hearing.
Cool.
No, how do I roll again? Slash roll.
And then it's 3d6 plus whatever you have.
Yes. Yes. What do I have? 1.
That's a 14 on me.
13.
Hey,
13 and a 14. You don't hear it straight away. In fact, you can hear the running footsteps. And Nara, you're closest, as Ariana grabs your arm. And as you turn to look at her, you can see she's still got her arm. It's not in a sling anymore. It's more like almost in like a metal casing.
like a brace.
Yeah, like a brace. And you can see her. There looks to be a bruise forming across her face and
Jeez.
blood running down her lips. She's like, we need to go back now.
What happened?
What's going on?
We're going back now.
Yes,
We need
tell
to
us.
get through this.
Tell us on the way.
No. And she runs. She starts
What?
dragging you back towards this manor house where you are all staying.
Whoa. No. You can't just pull that on us. What's
We'll
going on?
We'll talk when we get there. I'm not. No.
Not here. I understand. And yeah.
I would roll an inside check on her and see.
You will look that she is scared. And she has taken a couple of blows to the face.
Okay, can I see if it's like a claw mark or like a blade mark or
No, this looks like this
Not
looks
just
like there's
Dexter.
like literally a punch to the face. Her whole cheekbone is completely bruised up around the eye.
Oof. Nara, as they're running, has her because she's got that new brace on like her left hand, so she's kind of got it ready to pull just in case, and she's looking over their shoulder, making sure no one's like following or anything.
She's not running completely. She's trying to almost do a trot so that she doesn't look too out.
Yeah, like
of
that
place.
white person walk when they're just kind of like
yeah.
something out. Yeah.
go. And you arrive back at this manor house, and some of the servants look quite shocked at Ariana's face, but she points to them to leave, and they bow and go. Is Harbeck, Harvey, and Guzgid, whereabouts are you in this manor house right now? Have you headed back to the manor house?
Yeah, Harbeck is probably sitting somewhere quietly with his dog.
Yeah, Trouble is asleep, like on his back, legs in the air, like sort of snoring.
Harvey's probably asleep on top of Trouble.
Yeah.
I love him.
Just mats on the floor. And what about Guzgid?
Guzgid has finished bathing and is trying on a selection of different suits for the evening.
The Chevalier armor has arrived.
I don't know if I can go to a ball in Chevalier armor, though.
I can.
Ariana, like bruised and bloody, like, what can I wear?
Ariana sort of walks in and she looks at you and she's like, my room, now. And walks up the stairs.
To me?
Yeah.
To all of you.
Oh,
Nara will hurry, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm up
There's a
and
sense of urgency, which has not...
shake Harvey and Trouble at the same time. Come on, get up. We got Trouble, technically, I guess.
I'm going to grab both the Chevalier armor set. I assume it's tied together.
Yeah, it's come in a really neat package. It looks really
And
pretty.
a royal blue formal suit I've been considering. And I'll take them both upstairs to the room.
Yeah, you head up into this room. She holds the door open until you're all in. And she gets rid of the servants either side of the door before closing it.
Nara will stand by the door and keep an ear out for anyone on the other side of the door.
Right. We're going to go to this ball tonight, and we are going to be aware of everyone. There's something weird going on. Someone knows we're here, and this, and she just gestures to her face. She's like, this tells me we might know something we shouldn't.
So how can I give another description of her face? She looks bruised and battered
She's
physically.
got like a bruise all the way up here. It's almost like where it's burst blood vessels as well. This looks like she's taken like a full gauntlet to the face. You can see a few cuts, but not like a blade or anything. This is a punch.
Who did that to you?
Well, you're in my care, no less.
I don't know.
What did they look like?
There was 4 of them.
Did they have masks on or a uniform?
They had masks on. They looked like Orlesian bards. But then everyone does here.
Were they threatening you, or were they trying to send a message?
No, I think
they jumped me.
I think they were trying to knock you out, but it didn't quite work.
No, it didn't work. And she's pacing now.
I think you're very lucky.
A bit more. She's just like, I'm not lucky.
Maybe we should not go to the ball then? Maybe we should...
If we don't go to the ball, then they've won. Then I don't know what they're going to do.
I've garnered some support from the Chevaliers. They'll aid us in our request for aid.
Right. Now, how many of you have been to Orlais before?
Excellent.
Probably some years ago.
Nope,
so
never.
Harvey will know this. Is it? This isn't a walk-in with a battle axe as she looks over at Guzgid and tear the place apart. This is, you have to play the game. You keep your cards close to your chest, or you lose everything. We go to this ball, we find out what we can, but there's something. And she pauses for a moment. no one can know this has happened. No one can link me to anything. We go to this ball as the guests we were, and we watch everything. Everything. We listen to why we've been called there, and what we must do next. Whether we choose to do next what they wish us to, that's a completely different matter. But we've been called here for a reason, and my other fear, if I was to be the right hand of the divine and they're trying to get rid of me, who are they trying to put in my place?
Yeah, there is that is interesting, because as far as I can tell, we've come to Valroyo to let people know that Orzammar needs aid, that the gates fell and the second blight's coming. We've got sort of a archdemon situation. You've come to Valroyo to speak with the divine at her personal request that you become her right hand.
Yes.
Who are you?
I'm Mariana.
Not good enough.
They spoke of noble blood.
They did. And she sits down and was just like rubbing her temple, then realizing there's a bruise there. She's like, ah. It's just... If you will not mind, I will keep my last name secret for now. But this is because I don't... And she gestures to all walls.
Mm.
Walls have ears. I will tell you. I promise. I will tell you before
Can I take a moment to listen? Just anything outside of the room?
Roll me a perception check, please.
19.
Or, on a 19, you don't hear footsteps, you don't hear anything, and you suppose there probably is nothing here, but you can see Ariana is on edge after what has happened, and probably won't. You feel that she's telling you the truth, and she will tell you, but not
here.
as of, yeah.
Yeah, that's very valid.
She now doesn't trust the place you are all staying in. I am of noble blood. I am of a noble house in Ferelden. But you are not to tell anyone that. For now. I trust you all. And I trust you all with my life.
Mm-hmm.
You will know more. Stupidly enough, as much as the ball is going to be a dangerous place, I feel safer telling you there. Agreed?
It's good enough for me. We've been through enough just in the past week, so you tell us when you're ready and when it's safe. You've already had a rough day, so let's get you cleaned up, ready for this ball. Don't worry, this sneaky stuff is my specialty, and I also elbow Nara. And but just be sure you're around at least one of us.
I was just about to say it's probably best if no one goes anywhere by themselves, especially not you, Ariana.
Arbeck looks at Nara and he says, "Where's Terrail?"
I had to leave him with some other elven servants.
Well, we need to go get him.
I can take care of that if you like.
You and I'll both go do it if nobody's going alone.
But, I'm pretty confident that there's no ears here, at least. Not in this room.
Yes, but it's better if we don't take any risks.
Still, yes. I'll give a nod to Harbeck, and I'd like to just start heading out and just looking for a servant. Like, not no one in power. I'm looking for a servant.
Yeah, looking for a servant.
Yeah, like.
You will find there's a couple of servants on the lower level. You can see as you look down the stairs and over. You can see some of them. They look to be whispering and almost like giggling about something. They're probably not allowed to talk that often, so seeing this spare moment, you can see them chatting with each other.
Yeah. I'll head down and ask them. It's like, sorry to interrupt. We're just wondering, that young elven boy that was in our company, does anyone know where he went?
Yes. They look absolutely horrified that you have caught them talking.
She kind of loves it. And it's just like, you don't have to. It's fine. You're allowed to talk. I just need to know where he is.
Yes. I can go and fetch him if you want. We were just sorting him out, ready for the ball this evening.
Oh, bless. Thank you. You're too kind. That would be wonderful. We can go and get him.
And this elf does like an over the top low bow and then runs off in this room.
She looks at the other elves who are chatting. It's like, it's okay. I'm not going to tell anybody on you.
They still look terrified, even though you're telling them this. They're just
Yeah.
I imagine standing behind Nara as just Harbeck.
Yeah. Just
Grim
glaring them down.
Like,
Good cop, bad cop.
yeah.
It's like, it's okay. We're not going to tell anybody.
And this elf comes back very, very quickly, almost dragging Terrail, and he's trying to catch up and hurry up, and you can see him in a very smart, like, suit, trousers, like almost like a tabard type thing, button up.
Oh my.
Like,
tight.
he looks over the
son.
top. And he's got like those trousers that cut off just below the knee with almost like silk socks and small little shoes on.
Bow tie.
So out of place.
Bow tie.
No, I look at him and put a head on his shoulders. Like, don't you look dashing?
Yeah.
I guess.
Mm.
All right, come on. We're going back to Ariana's room.
And he sort of follows you fairly quickly, right on your heels.
Yeah. She thanks the other servants as they go. Like, thank you for your work. He looks wonderful. The moment they get in the room, she's like, "What have they done to you?"
Yeah, he stands there like he looks pretty like he's tight in this, like he can't move quite as much.
She'll like ease up a lot of the things. Like, I assume it's even like maybe like almost corset style. I guess like very tight and very tight, very hard to move in.
Yeah, it's more that he's just got it buttoned all the way down.
Okay, I'll just help him, just kind of like maybe undo the first couple of buttons and just loosen up a little bit so he can breathe, the poor kid.
I'm gonna. Harbeck just kind of looks over Terrail for a second, and then he looks at Ariana. He says, Have you talked to anyone other than Filippo since we got here?"
No, other than the servants, but not
Servants,
about
yeah.
anything important.
He shoots kind of a side eye at Nara, and he says, "Yeah, servants have a tendency to be eyes and ears for people. I'm wondering if we could get some in our own pocket, or if that might just play our hand a little too much."
With what time and resources? The ball's tonight.
Well, if we can figure out anything about Filippo's game, that might help a bit. He's pretty well versed in deceit, I feel like.
That, and we're in a huge disadvantage in this city. We know nothing.
Yeah.
Everybody immediately has a one-up on us, and I don't think we can trust anyone here, save for everyone in this room. Maybe, like, kind of covering Terrell's ears a little bit. We can't trust them as far as we could throw them.
I can throw most of these people pretty far, probably. If you think about it.
Figure of speech, Christ. Or maker, or whatever you guys say, whatever the dwarves say, paragons.
I guess we
Uh.
are not allowed to bring weapons to the ball, but how many of us have weapons we can hide and bring with us?
Fairly sure we can take ceremonial axes.
Harbeck just kind of looks at the like nasty maul that he has left over after discarding his battle axe, and he's just like, I mean, well, I can punch pretty hard.
That works just as well.
My concern is that most of these people, you wouldn't see them coming. You'd only realize once the blade's already in your back.
Yes, but it doesn't hurt to bring our own. Is it? Can we wear armor underneath, or will it be too obvious? Maybe if we have like a big cape.
You know,
Again,
lots
it's-
of people will be going there in ceremonial.
As long as it's ceremonial, it's fine. Shiny, glossy, big emblems, preferably stating your house. I did ask Filippo yesterday if there was any Idukan armor here, but not so much. We'd have to get it smithed, and unfortunately I spend my time gaining support from the Chevaliers instead of commissioning armor.
Well, that's not the worst thing. Looks like you got at least a suit out of him. That's nice.
I got 2 suits. There's 2 heavy armor suits.
Yeah.
No leather, though, I'm afraid.
You got heavy armor though. That's, I mean,
Blade man.
yeah. Okay, yeah, that sounds excellent.
I mean, if we could put Ariana in one suit of armor, like we, at least we have a little bit of advantage there.
I'm afraid these suits might be restricted to me and Harbeck.
Yeah,
I
they're
mean,
kind
we
of
could try and fill them out a little bit, but
a dwarven.
It's alright. We can tidy up what he
It's-
has.
Yeah, we can, maybe we can like puzzle something together. Just like the most important, the chest and neck area.
hell,
If we could just get something for that. Is there?
That's-
I know you two are pretty sneaky, right? Well, I straight up asked Filippo for armor. Why don't you have a mooch around and see if you can find anything?
I'd rather not owe anyone here any favors.
You kidding me? I owe everyone in this city money, and once they realize that Ozamar's gone and the Idukans aren't gonna pay that debt, we're not welcome anyway.
Yeah, that is going to be pretty
God.
difficult once they call that
I-
tab.
Alice, I'm
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
too
everyone
familiar.
got the tab.
I'm not massively familiar with the state of Ferelden back in the Second Blight. I know the Circle Tower doesn't exist, for example.
Circle Tower does not exist.
Most
Empires
people
don't
are
exist.
here at this meet, right? What other places are there we can go? Like the capitals. Is Denerim the capital at this time?
Denerim is a capital, however, there is not a king of Ferelden. There is no monarchy in Ferelden currently, just noble families.
Okay.
Alice, is there any decorative armor like in the hall? You know, just
Oh, you can
Let's
see them. Like,
take it
they're,
out of
all
the
very, they're all very chevalier-esque because that is what this is. That is their proud sort of coat of arms and things like that.
well,
I think... Sorry, you go. You go.
I did see some armors in the hall. Can't we just use one of those?
No, we can't just use hallway armor. Look, the way this thing is going to work, Ariana's going to be paraded around for everybody to see. If she's walking around in chevalier hallway attire, there's going to be questions. I don't know. I mean, technically, she needs something Ferelden that, you know, speaks to her station, whatever it might be. And he kind of just gives like a grumpy glare at Ariana. But I think if we stick to something just nice enough, I guess, and play it defensive, we should be all right. Really, what we need is just to have an ear for everything and to not take too many chances.
That's why we need the armor.
If I may ask you two, what's your history with this Filippo? Do you trust him?
Not really. He's a friend of my family. I thought I could trust him, but that's before everyone started talking about this game business and Orlais, where everyone tries to kill you and put knives in your back.
I wouldn't trust him.
I wouldn't trust him. I just met the guy the other day. Or today, I guess.
Okay, look. I may be mostly a fighter, but you don't grow up as a smith cast boy without learning a few things. Maybe if we find some pieces of armor, I could repurpose them a little bit.
Is the problem right now that she doesn't have anything to wear?
It's like we're trying to find something, like an armor she can wear.
What's her armor like now?
Yeah.
Like, it's swirled and, like, because I remember she got changed into something quite fancy, yeah?
Yeah.
So what was her old armor?
If you can... One, we need to clean up your face. And two, if you were to get me some polish, I can easily make this armor look brand new. I was a merchant. I lived, like, it was my job to make things look fit for selling. It would look brand new.
I could also take our old leather armor. Harbeck, you were wearing leather earlier. And I could do something to reinforce your armors, Nara and Javier.
No one's touching my armor, thank you.
No.
I am gonna be wandering around, see what I can find. You can work on her stuff as much as you want, and I'll come back and see what I've put together. And she quickly runs out of the room and starts sneaking around the manor to try and find things.
I'd like to start cleaning up Ariana.
Well, that
And
was
just
my plan of no
put
one going
water.
alone.
You know what? I like her. She's got a goal and she just goes for it. Respect
Have
it.
experience.
And I have a plan and no one listens.
Oh, hold her and get used to that. That's basically leadership.
It's
Fair enough.
She has experience that most of us at the moment can only dream of. I trust her. She'll be fine. And I'm like cleaning up Ariana's face and like very
Ariana
careful.
lets you do it. You can see how
Yeah.
she's like, we need something to.
It's okay, I've got that too.
Don't worry, I got foundation. Just
Yeah.
go get
Yeah,
my
we have
class.
foundation. I think Nara's probably had to like cover up a couple bruises and scars and stuff like that. So I think she can get like some there's gonna be makeup in the bathroom. It's Olay.
You are in Orlais.
Yeah, there's gonna be makeup in the bathroom. They probably have a whole like Sephora in there. Yeah,
Her
so she'll
back,
clean her up and then go and find her skin tone and all this stuff.
Harbeck is gonna kneel down. He kind of looks at Ariana's face and how it's more or less a little beat up.
I'm
He's gonna kneel down and he's gonna look at Terrail and he's gonna say, "Do you see any other nobles around while you were out in the castle? What have you been up to? Have you seen anybody else kind of preparing for this thing?"
Yeah, they're everywhere. There was one. We walked past one room, and I've never seen so many clothes.
It's like, and you see him sort of like drift off. As you think he's
I
probably
love
seen
him.
lots of people getting ready.
These Orlesians love hats and scarves and
They gave me this.
And he pulls out this small mask, which he
there
sort
it
of,
is.
sort of puts it over his face, and so you can just see his little ears.
wait.
Oh, adorable.
Wait. Yeah, you're really cute. Is this a ball where you wear masks?
Yeah, that's kind of. Yeah, I've seen sort of
Optimism.
I've seen sort of
I
a
prepare.
mask motif going around. I was thinking that might be the case.
All right. First of all, that's stupid. Second of all, this is just a big setup.
Oh no, yeah.
Oh yeah. Why are we
Everything in
even?
Olay is a big setup.
Why are we even playing the game when
Because we
have
got to
the-
get to the divine.
Everyone's here. Everyone of import is here tonight. If we want to get aid with the blight, we need to speak to them.
Yeah, we
Everyone
can't
plays
miss
the
this
game here. The game is not just the game we are in. Everyone is playing their own game.
What kind
believe-
of
One or two of them are out for us, but they're
Word
all
spreads.
God knows what they're up to.
Do you know about the security? Is it good?
security for the Divine is the best in the land.
How many guards will be here tonight? Do we know that?
I have no idea.
There'll be Templars everywhere.
No, there won't, because Templars aren't created
Don't,
yet.
don't
No,
worry,
they
Tony
won't.
Templars
says.
don't Listen, I've got this idea, right?
Okay,
What
first
if
of all, there are
we-
no Templars. There is no Mage Circle. There are no Seekers of Truth. The Inquisition, the first round, hasn't happened yet.
Can you give me a brief rundown of what there is at the moment
It's
around
a
the Divine?
lot of Orlesians.
Just all lesions. That's not
there's
security.
shady
That's just
fuckers.
that's an adder trap.
Do we know like would we have heard about or known whether or not there's going to be anyone from Tevinter here?
You would know that Tevinter is currently owning the Anderfels.
Mhm,
So if there is one, it's probably an emissary,
mhm.
and they're not going to be well received, but they have to be there.
And there's
I feel for him.
there's a divine. Does Tevinter have its own, like the Black Divine?
The Black Divine is not here yet.
Yet.
Yeah.
Harbeck says, "Look, we don't really have a ton of time until this thing starts. I think we slap a mask on her face, preferably if we can find something similar to Rails, just to give him sort of an alibi as her servant."
Almost on cue, there's a knock at the door.
Oh man, do I hate that. All right. And Harbeck's gonna get up and he goes and opens the door.
And there,
I pull Ariana into the bathroom so
Yeah.
she's not sitting there with her face like, what did I?
as you drag her in, which again, Nara is running away. But we,
Bye!
but they pull out this. It's almost like a tray, a velvet tray with all of these masks on, a variety of hats, masks. You do not have to wear one, but it is advised.
Harbeck takes it and he looks at the servant. Are there any like distinguishing marks on their face or anything recognizable?
This seems to be just normal dwarf. There's no Dalish
Okay.
tattoos or anything.
Oh,
This one just nods, and said, "Your carriage will be here in half an hour."
Oh, all right.
Mhm.
Thank you. And
Thank you.
Harbeck does the kind of like holding a tray, but then sort of getting the door with his foot,
Mhm.
kind of like, all right,
Yeah.
and just closes it. And he turns around. So do we have a mask for each of us?
There is a variety on here that you can choose from. They're all they're kind of similar but different at the same time. There's a lot of colors here, literally anything you could want. So there are all these
Hell
masks. There's half a face, almost like Phantom of the Opera-esque. There's across the face. There's ones on sticks. There's ones that you can tie with ribbon around the back of your head. And some of them are masks that are fixed to almost like a hat. So as you put the hat on, it covers your face. And some of them cover your entire face with a very doll-like features.
Well, this will be fun for me because everyone will see my giant horns and realize I'm not a dwarf and I'm not human.
You
or an
can
elf.
decorate
The height
them.
might be a difference.
Everyone, like, is there a point for me wearing a mask?
Yeah,
Because everyone
I
would
think there
know.
is. Well, you can do up your hair around your horns like you did before. We strap a mask on you. You get sort of the whole cover every inch of you. We get like gloves. We get the neckerchief or whatever.
The mask is also
You're just
not
like a scary giant.
necessarily for hiding.
I have an idea.
Okay.
What about if we hold her, if you would be willing? What about if we make a mock-up of the mask that you arrived in, the chain mask, you know? And we could appear as though we've bought a powerful spellcaster from the Coon.
I'm not so sure if bringing a spellcaster here would be a good idea. These guys seems to be not the type of people that would appreciate that.
Well, hell, I'm not the person to say whether it's a good idea or not. I'm just saying it's an option.
What would that bring for benefits, really?
An
This kid
open
immediately
threat.
looks at Harbeck.
Pardon?
An open threat. You want to talk about security, you want to talk about defenses. This whole game is about holding a knife in plain sight. We dress you up as an honored guest, we get you looking fine, we say, oh, this is our servant, we parade you around like a bunch of creeps. Everybody's going to see it as sort of a show of power, but a modest one, something within the parameters of what they expect.
I think that having a Quinari would be more than enough.
I just imagine you
Imagine.
peeking out from the bathroom now.
Yeah, I've got like a foundation sponge to Ariana's face. I just freak out. And I think having a Quinari would be more of would be enough. I think the spellcasting aspect can be our ace in the hole, as it were. People
Right,
would
fair.
expect someone hold someone. I mean, no offense, but someone appearing the way that Holder does to be more of a melee fighter.
Sure. Maybe I could just appear scary and stay close to Ariana. Maybe that
Yeah,
would be
that's
enough.
another
To
option.
just be to just be big and scary behind her. Show off my muscles a little bit.
While this conversation is going on, Harbeck is just holding a mask that is like all black metal that goes into like an all black hat that kind of looks like his, and he's just like,
Hell yeah.
all right, well, I mean, I think if we just kind of, and he just like, he puts it on and he's like, what do you guys think about that? Is that cool?
Oh, it's
I
a
love-
mask.
Does this work?
I like it.
Very Elysian.
Nice.
I pick up the scariest mask I can find. Alice, would you do me the honor of explaining what it looks like?
This one, it's a plain white mask with
Yes.
barely any features on it whatsoever, apart from the shape of the eyes. You're not even sure what it is, but the rest of you will see this, probably not Holdra. This mask has built-in eyelids, so as she blinks, it blinks.
I love it.
Wow.
It's like those unnerving mascot suits that have too much detail.
Oh, that's cool. I like it.
What would Harvey go for?
She's
I think
out
Harvey's
of
still
there.
scavenging.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we can pick one
But if you
mask
say
over.
I can bring you on, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there is any left when she comes back, I would prefer the ones with a stick attached to a stick, and she's gonna sharpen the end of the stick with her dagger.
Yeah, you can sharpen the end of that.
Nice.
And on your travels, you would have probably found, actually in the baths, if you were looking around, very similar smart suits. It's very similar to the ones that Terrail is wearing. And you can see it's been placed there as an option, but as something. This is a very royal sort of color. This is a very yeah.
Oh, also, are there any rings anywhere?
There's probably some lying about in the
Yeah,
room.
I'm gonna make those. Oh, was it knuckle fit? Like,
knuckle
just put.
duster.
I'm just gonna have a lot of rings and like these are for hurting, not fashion.
Nara's probably got like an outfit that she has like long sleeves and whatnot, something that she can wear her like gauntlet and stuff under all that. And I think the mask that because I drew this, and the mask that she's picked out, it's a gold one that covers half the face, but half part of it comes down and swells up, so it's like a chameleon's tail. And there's got like a lot of like there's like a fan of fabric at the top with like feathers and stuff at the
Yeah.
top. Can I check the feathers to see if any of them are hidden blades?
None of them are hidden blades.
Oh, I can change this at some point.
Speaking of hidden blade, I want to hide my blade.
Oh yeah, I assume.
So-
you have a blade.
in some fabric or something,
And
a
soon
belt.
you hide all of your blades, and as soon as you're starting to get ready, what are you all wearing? Harvey's brought back all of these sort of smart esque suits. You can hear Ariana in the bathroom getting changed, sort of being really grumpy about something as you hand her one of these suits. And you notice there is almost an emblem on it, which she quickly rips off and throws aside. And you hear just like, bastard, like some cursing is going on, but you can hear her start loading on her armor over the top of this.
I want to pick up that patch.
It occurs to me that if we do turn up in heavy armor, Chevalier heavy armor no less, we'll probably... You were saying about holding a blade and not being scared, well, turning up in heavy armor when everyone else is wearing formal suits may not give off that right impression, and it'll also make it look like we're closely tied to the Chevaliers.
Well, I thought that might be kind of your play, sort of representing for them a connection between Iduken and the Chevaliers. And Harbeck is already in a pitch black suit with black gloves on, and he has kind of like black frills around the neck under his mask and hat. And so he's like, I kind of thought that was like your whole thing. I think personally, I'm going to hold on to that suit, and I am definitely going to do some painting later and maybe just kind of get it all into my whole thing. But I don't think I'll be wearing it to the ball. I do like this, though. And he does kind of like a turn and kind of shows it off. You should try it, something like that. It's honestly, this is probably the most comfortable thing I've ever worn in my life.
Yeah, I think Guzgid's gonna take a long moment and be like, I don't want to seem like I'm in the Chevalier's pocket. I'll wear the royal blue suit, and he's gonna pick the smallest mask possible, preferably just one eye, and if it's got an Iduken crest on it, perfect.
There probably wouldn't be an Iduken crest.
Hammer it in.
It's just...
Give me 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But
Ariana, in the end, emerges from the bathroom. You see she's taken off her armor. Probably listening to the rest of you, she straightens herself out. Again, almost matching Terrail in this very sharp suit. But this, she doesn't have like the socks. She's got these very long boots. As she walks up, and she's tied her hair up into a long plait and just sort of put it on the back of her head. And she steps forward. And you can see there is that crest. It looks like she's found another one with it, and she wears it and looks down and well, I guess everyone's going to know anyway, shall we? And she heads towards the door.
Is it time?
Yep, I believe so.
Harvey's not back yet?
Yeah,
Or-
Harvey's back. She's been sharpening that stick.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. Harvey is pretty much just in her same leather armor. It was recently cleaned. She thinks that's good enough. She has her new fancy hat, new fancy boots, and then while she was around sneaking, getting those suits, she just grabbed like little things around the manor, like ribbons, vases, flowers, and uses those things to spruce up the leather armor just to make it.
I love it.
Got that dragon tooth, which is effectively on a chain.
Ooh, she's wearing that like her chain, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like this big as it just sits.
Hell yeah.
Just get
I stopped, baby.
Is it someone gonna? Hey, we had a similar one in the hall.
Yeah, I found a replica for sale in a gift shop nearby.
That's a good
Wow,
one.
it must be popular.
And there is
well,
a knock.
already.
Oh god.
Here we go.
And as you open the door, an elf stands there, and Filippo stands there. What do you think? Your carriage is waiting.
Well, it wouldn't do well for us to be late.
He starts to walk down the stairs. Ariana looks back and nods to you all, and starts following.
I wanna, as we're going past Filippo, I'd like to just scan him to see if I can see where he might hide a blade.
Oh yeah, roll a perception check for me.
Yeah. Alrighty.
While you do that,
I'll take away my hearing bonus because that doesn't apply to this one.
Harbeck, you
12.
wanted to say something.
Oh yeah, so basically just like I feel like before Filippo showed up, Harbeck definitely took some probably like essentially like eyeshadow and stuff, and
Oh, God.
gave Trouble like a little bandit mask,
Yeah, we could
Aw.
have easily done that.
with little like kind of like cat eyes, but just little flicked up horns at the end.
Yeah, and he's got his
No.
very smart leather on as well.
Oh yeah, he's got
He's got his very
No,
smart
he's
leather
like,
on.
And
nothing
Harbeck
bad
just
could
looks
ever
at
happen
him
to
and
Trouble.
he's like, listen to me. You are going to be on your best behavior. You are going to walk on the other side of Ariana from Terrail. You will make sure that nothing happens to them. Do you understand?
And he just gives like a bark and immediately walks to Ariana's side, even though she's like,
Harbeck looks over at Gersgerd. I don't know. Seems like he's getting the message. That's all I'm saying. I think he's pretty smart. Pretty smart dog.
Yeah, alright, fair enough. And Biscuit does actually look at the dog with like a new sort of
Those eyebrows never cease to amaze me.
Very good. So I got a 12 on perception. Do I see
and
anything?
as Nara walks past, you will see he has got the telltale signs. You are a rogue. You know this. You know he's got something up his sleeve. You know he's got something in his boot.
Literally
Yeah,
up his sleeves.
Literally up his sleeves. And you know he's wearing a ceremonial dagger. It's probably not the best one he's got, but you know there's others there.
Oh, I might do that. That's a gemstone dagger that I got. I might have that just on my side. Very obvious, very like
Yeah.
thing that you would grab, essentially.
Yeah.
I'll have that on my
Oh
side.
yeah. You can
I
do
don't-
that.
Out of just curiosity, what mask did Ariana take, and what mask did I never remember his name. The little boy, the little
Oh,
elf.
Terrail.
Terrail. He's got almost like a matching blue one to the suit. Whoever has put him in this thing has like decked him out in what they think
Aw.
he should be wearing. And
Bless his heart.
Ariana is wearing a plain red one, which sort of shorter here, and it fixes across her eyebrows and goes up the side and curves round into her hair.
Cool. Fashion.
And you walk down these stairs and out this front door, and you see a carriage waiting for you, door open.
2 moments. Guzgid, currently weaponless, is going to walk into the nearest weapon shop.
You are nowhere near
Oh.
a weapon shop right now.
Oh, can I get them
It's
to
all
drop me off?
daggers.
I just need to pick up a quick ceremonial axe.
I would say you would probably have those
Oh.
already. Like they might have a special Aducan one.
Oh,
Because
great.
You
Well, that's
don't
fine.
need one when you go to Orzammar. This is specifically here.
Oh,
because-
that's grand then. Okay, brilliant. I will just grab one of those then. Excellent, I do have a weapon. I was really worried for a minute because Guzgid's experience of shops is he just stands near them and people offer him things so that they can see the Lord Idukan wearing them, and if that didn't happen, he wouldn't have known what to do.
But you all hop into this carriage. Ariana first, as she steps in. You can see Trouble hop in, sort of bound quite after her, and not sit on her lap, but sit almost between like her legs where she's sat down.
I want a window seat. I want a window seat.
Yeah, you can sit opposite Ariana, who has also got
Yeah.
a window seat.
Yeah, I'll do that.
How
That's
big
it.
is?
This
How
is a
big
big
is-
carriage. This is a big carriage. You can fit
Oh,
in
yes.
easily.
Sweet. I spread my legs a little bit. Like, make myself comfortable.
Yeah, Harbeck. I feel like Harbeck is smushed in a corner somewhere.
But by Huldrach.
I think
I like that scene.
Harvey would have hopped in next to you. Again, pretty chill about it. And what about Guzgid?
Do I have to get in the carriage?
No, you can sit on the outside with the people riding it.
None of the people.
I'll ride up front if that's okay. I like to be seen and to see people.
And Filippo just nods his head. And you see him leave you and go and get into his own carriage.
Under my breath, damn it, you're one of the ones that made me want to keep my eye on.
I think like Nara's got like her like just eyes out the window, just looking at the scenery, and she just kind of rattles off. It's like, he's got a blade in each boot and one up of each sleeves. Keep an eye out.
And Ariana's like, how observant of you.
How did you know that?
You can stay near me.
I just give Holdra just a little wink. Like, you'll learn to keep an eye out.
She's just like,
Let's just say the merchant cast had its own game. As it were.
And Ariana scratches the top of Trouble's head. And you can see her riding as this coach rides on. You see that shield on her chest. The shield which has a blue background. You're now starting to think they've chosen this color purely for her house.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 sets of laurel leaves that go up. And she looks down at them in a little bit of disgust that it's there. But you can feel this cart go across all these cobbled stones.
Can I make a heraldry roll on that?
You can.
Because Harbeck is skilled in heraldry.
Yeah, I was doing that. I'm like reaching over to Ariana and say, hold still, Christ, goodness. And it's just like getting rid of all the loose threads from the other patch that she pulled off, because I'm gonna guess that there's like an outline of just loose thread.
On a 12, you do recognize this. You recognize this house. And she looks at you, looking at it. And she's like, this was my betrothed's house. I'm a lower royal house. And you recognize the emblem. This isn't her house. This is the one that... And when you say was, you can assume she is no longer betrothed to this person.
Mm-hmm.
And you recognize the house of Kausland. And if you laugh, actually, in character...
He doesn't know.
She looks at you and she's like, what?
He says,
I am not a Kausland.
Sure. Technically, I'm not a Nuth Garrock anymore, so I get it. It's fine.
No, I never married. It never happened.
Really?
I'm a much lower house.
So you're, they're sort of just dressing you up in, what, in your ex's armor? Is that right?
It would appear so. But they're not a high house either. In fact, they work for my house.
And what's their play? They want to see you lower than you are.
And she sort of looks around and says, I don't know. I'm more confused as to why they didn't invite my older brother here rather than myself. I don't understand. He is a ban after all.
Ban, huh? Interesting.
Hopefully, we'll find some answers.
And she looks at you all up and down. I'm not a Kausland. My brother is Ban Conobar Elston. I'm Ariana Elston. It makes no sense that they've called me here. But we're gonna go and find out why. And you feel those wheels come to a stop over these cobbled streets, and you hear this music erupting from this palace. Music, these lights, you can see these huge gates. As you come almost in this circle, you can see lots of carriages pulling up. And the door opens for you, and some very, very smartly dressed coachmen open the door and offer a hand to Ariana. You hear Trouble growl a little bit, but as soon as she takes his hand, he stops and sort of jumps out after her, Terrell close behind. And she looks back at you. Remember, the game. And she walks forward.
The Game of Thrones.
Harbeck steps down from the carriage, and I feel like for a lot of you, this is the first time that you see that Harbeck is a noble, and not just someone who likes to be pampered, but literally like a noble. You see a rigid bearing in him. You see sort of this pride that you have not seen in him before. And he holds himself with his gloved hands behind his back. And he turns and he offers a gloved hand to whoever else is coming down.
Nara's by the door, so she'll take it. And I think, like, she is very, like, from someone who is low caste, you wouldn't expect them to know this kind of, like, posture and whatnot, but she's dealt with nobles more than a lower caste should, probably. So she knows, like, the proper posture and proper everything like that. So she's quite prim and proper as well, but you get less of a sense of pride and more of a sense of, like, she just knows what to do. There's no pride in this. It's just an act.
As soon as you come down all the way from the carriage and are like on even footing with him, he leans in and he says, "You're sharp, kid. You got good eyes. You got good ears. But we are walking in to an Orlesian ball. You are not the only one listening, and you're not the only one watching. Keep an even
I know
head."
where. I know where.
And he lets go of her hand and just kind of gestures for her to walk with him as they enter.
I think she'll murmur back. It's like, I'm perfectly aware of how anger can make you stupid, and stupid gets you killed.
As we pull up, what does the crowd look like? Is it all nobles? Minor nobles?
It's not necessarily all all nobles. There are nobles there. There's lower nobles. You can see some people from Ferelden, and you can tell because they look incredibly uncomfortable in a lot of the things they're wearing. But mostly this looks like lower but upper class Orlesians.
Okay.
And they all pretty much blend in and look the same with these masks and over-the-top dresses and suits and hats, sort of. You can see them all mingling and laughing, all these very, very fake laughs ringing in the air.
The anime laugh.
So, Guzgird, as he steps down, he might not look as much a noble as Harbeck, but you can see suddenly there's a vigor to him. He looks a little excited. Maybe a chance for trouble, who knows. But as he looks around, he would like to, he will talk to people at random intervals, not based on their stature in life, like nobility or all the rest, but just picking people almost at random, making sure that he speaks to people who seem poor, people who seem like sort of middling, the occasional legion, and to the poor people it'll be very much like, hello, nice to meet you, Lord Iduke, what is it you do for a living? And like, you know, just sort of like
yeah, the
blending.
lowest tier is a merchant. Like, they're wealthy merchants. They're not, there's no one of poor.
Not even the Fereldans, they're just, okay.
No, they are merchants.
No.
They are merchants and higher up.
Okay, so then in that case it'd be, what do you trade in? I've heard that these things, spices are needed in the north, and just making small talk.
Yeah, and you find a lot of, every time when you speak to an Orlesian, you will listen to them. It's filler. It's conversation filler. It's talking about what a wonderful evening this is, and talking about, isn't everyone looking wonderful? And know what you realize after asking quite a few people what they do, they never give you any real detail. Nothing is dropped. The only thing you know is that you've spoken to one merchant from Ferelden who feels very out of place, and you can see that they look out of place. And they look quite awkward, and you also find out they're a fairly new merchant, so this to them is fully alien.
Okay, so are they talking in a group?
Well, this one's actually stood on his own.
Okay, that's a shame. Well, because good would have, of course, talked to him. But if I see a group of, like, well-off merchants together, Guzgid would like to go up to the first one, shake his hand, and say, "Hello, my friend, it's good to see you here."
And you notice they're taken aback by you taking their hand and shaking it, and they quickly withdraw it.
Guzgid's not done. He moves almost directly on, not giving him an opportunity to reply.
Oh god.
Looks to the next person who's a merchant and simply nods his head. So the next person does the whole big thing and is like, "Hey! You remember that time? Ha ha!" And the fourth person he ignores completely and walks away.
He's gonna get shanked.
And I'm hoping that it will cause a little mini game in that group where they all wonder.
You see, they all look to the one you completely ignored, and they actually start to move away from them. They sort of seem to spot something in another crowd.
Just ruin a man's livelihood.
Just sowing
So,
seeds. Just sowing
it may be a
seeds.
little while before it happens, but I do want to say that once like everyone's in and mingling or whatnot, Nara just bounces. she is someone to meet. She'll be back. Like she's not abandoning this ball or anything. But I think at some point while Ariana, like people are walking around or whatnot, like she's just gone. Like she's like they look down, she's there at her side or whatnot, and then like stop to have a conversation, and then she's not there anymore, and she's gonna leave. And
you can all mingle for a bit, and it's not like you separate off, but you can mingle with different people, and that is when Nara slips away in the courtyard. You see Ariana walking up the stairs with this Mabari almost trotting beside her, and she keeps Tyrell very close to her. You can see she's actually walking with her hand on his shoulder as she walks up these steps, being led by someone. And she disappears through the large doors.
Huldra is probably exiting the carriage last, and you can probably tell by not the face due to the mask, but her body language is like she's extremely nervous. She's almost shaking and like almost, not consciously, but is trying to make herself look smaller than she is.
Yeah, you can hear comments as you walk past, but not horrible comments. It's more shock that there is a Canary here. Some of them they've seen Canary, but you suspect some of them haven't at all, especially dressed like this, because to them Canary is savages. This is not something they are used to seeing at all, and they're almost sort of pleasing sort of chatter around you, and like they are impressed, if anything. And you can walk through. What is Harbeck and Harvey doing?
Harbeck was last with Nara, but I don't think we've got what Harvey's introduction was.
Harvey is on her own, wandering through, trying to just catch conversations, do the listening game, very much on the sneaky side of the game tonight.
Harbeck actually moves through the crowd in a very different way from Gerskird. He does not look at, notice, or address anyone who is not nobility. And you can see, you can tell that though he doesn't know these people, he knows who they are. He can see their symbolism, he can read their color schemes, and he can pinpoint just sort of like what their heraldry is telling him. He makes only like a few brief stops speaking to sort of Orlesian nobility who are known to have their own mercenary companies, as well as a few military figures, a few people who he has heard of or knows about from his time on the surface working kind of as a mercenary, and then proceeds to make his way to a balcony, and sort of he's sipping on he's got like a flute. He doesn't have like a flagon or anything. He holding it calculatingly. He has not drank from it because he has not removed his mask, and he is waiting to see who it is that comes to talk to him as soon as he's alone.
And probably Harvey. You're weaving in amongst all these people. You're all entering this grand ballroom. You look up at the ceiling, and the whole ceiling is glass and marble, intricately decorated, and you can see the stars overhead, huge chandeliers, and balconies with a dance floor in the center. And as you're weaving among these people in and out, all these people chattering about nonsense, they've all got glasses of something in their hands, some food, as servants wander around. These huge pillars scaling up to the ceiling. You see Ariana, as someone waves at her to talk to her, and she smiles. You see her grip Talana just a little bit tighter, and Trouble sit by her side. This man stands there. Very dark hair, very neat, he stands rather proudly. He wears a dark, sort of almost like suit, mixed with a robe. The sleeves themselves seem to go all the way down, all the way along to the floor. And sort of almost like a long waistcoat either side. And you see a staff attached to his back with a crystal set in the top. And he's smiling and he's chatting, and he seems very interested in Ariana, sort of chatting and talking, and you can tell it's a very polite conversation. But the one thing you notice about him is his voice. It's sweet and it's musical.
You would say it's Swedish.
And that is where we'll leave Dragon Age this week.
I can't believe that Nara's actually succeeding and just bouncing away from her like character arc. She's like, yeah, I have a letter, we'll focus on this today.
Yeah.
Nope, let's buy some blades. Oh, Christ.
I'm gonna run. I'll be back in a second.
Okay.
So
Pulling
many
Nara.
big bombs dropped today.
Yeah.
I'm so confused. I never understand Alice campaigns.
I feel bad for playing a character that's just like bouncing constantly. I swear to God, she'll stay. She just has someone to meet. I'm sorry.
One day she's just gonna bounce right into a trap.
Oh yeah, she's probably doing it now. She's probably doing it now.
It's an ambush. It's a trap.
Huh. I've somehow managed to break my chat bot. That's good.
Oh no.
Whoops. Oh, quick restart.
Poor thing.
Won't hurt.
Oof, 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 oof,
Ooh.
oof.
Yeah,
That
so
was-
here we are at
Holy
the...
shit.
Yeah, good, a great episode. Here we are at the end, everyone. Why don't we go round and talk about who we are and what we do? Avery, why don't we start with you?
Alrighty, so my name is Avery. I go by MapBat online. I'm an artist and cosplayer. What am I doing? I mean, this is the only stream I'm a part of at the moment, but if you don't see me on streams, you'll probably see my art. I did the character art for Tales of the Grim, the Wild Blue Yonder campaign that Alice is in, and hopefully a few more in future. And yeah, are we doing like favorite parts?
Yeah,
Or
favorite
not?
part, where we can find you, all that good stuff.
I love like all the intrigue happening at the moment. I like Huldra and Nara just shopping episode. Just like, yeah, let's get some blades. And I'm this whole thing with Nara's letter is getting so drawn out, and I'm just like, oh, I swear to God. I'm really excited for next session. Oh gosh, see what this letter's all about.
Fantastic. Next around, we have Nassim Etamad. Oh, hi.
Hey there, I'm Nassim Etamad. I am Nazgul on the social media. I am Saya Noor on Venture Maidens podcast. That is on the Venture Maidens Twitch channel every Wednesday and on iTunes, Spotify, all those things, also on YouTube. And I played your dwarf grandma, Harvey, and I really, really enjoyed finally getting my rogue, sneaky side into the story and getting to do some eavesdropping and all of that. That was a lot of fun.
Excellent. I'm glad. Next around, we have Many-Eyed Monster or Jeff. Oh, hi.
Oh, hi. My name is Jeff Ellis. You can find me on Twitter at Many-Eyed Monster, where I write D&D stuff, mostly supplements and adventures. I have a set of items inspired by Avatar: The Last Airbender that come out comes out every Monday, and they are completely free to use. They did not come out last Monday, but I'm going to put one out today. My favorite part was talking to Grim in the tavern, because there was a lot of stuff that was part of what I had planned and a lot that wasn't, and it's super exciting, and I really want to figure out what all is going on, because that's phenomenal. Also having Harvey there to eavesdrop on it and give us a little taste of that Harvey background. I'm very excited to hear about that. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, damn. So many big bombs today, so
Oh.
many.
Oh, also our Geared intro fighting the Chevalier was great.
Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Teehee. Next around, Ambly. Oh, hi.
Hello. I played Huldra. The plot twist. I loved it. It was a fun episode. I think it was a good episode about. It was a good balance between filler and main plot thing that was going on. Yeah, I really like Huldra's and Nara's little shopping adventure. And just like, oh, what? Someone else is paying? I'll also have a knife. Give something to me. I also, I just hope we're gonna have a little bit of ball next time. It's gonna be. Huldra doesn't like balls. Annie like balls. It's cool. It's fancy. Everyone's fancy. And it's a lot. You can get a lot of information and dirt on people. It's fun. I do art and more art. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and ArtStation. Yes, that is correct.
Thank you, Ambly. Last round, we have Alice.
Oh, hi! Yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. I liked the interaction between Harbeck and the dwarf, and the revealing of the dwarf's eyes to Harbeck, and I liked watching the reaction of everyone when Harvey came in and started talking to Grim. I really liked that. There's so much I like about this. I liked Nara and Holdra's little shopping trip, and also Guzgid trying to help up the Chevalier, who then booted him in the chest with a 19 and sent him across the training session. That really pissed Guzgid off, and I enjoyed that so much. So yeah, I'm White Rabbit Pick. You can find me on Twitter there. I do photography stuff, so definitely go and check that out. But otherwise, I am a DM on this channel. I am also a player on this channel, and I am also now a player in 2 campaigns on Tales from the Grim as well. So yeah, I've taken on a lot more than I can chew, and I'm loving it. So I have no life right now other than this, and I'm totally fine with that. So thank you.
Yeah, I was incredibly shocked when the Chevalier resorted to such dirty tactics.
No, just tactics.
Dirty tactics, yes.
Elysian tactics.
Yeah. But there we go. I really enjoyed that first scene. I'm really want to give this character. I've been wanting to play a campaign like this for a long time with this character, and it's doing me well. My favorite part, though, how can it not be that red lyrium reveal? Holy hell. Holy hell. That's important and scary. Yeah, I think you got what you're going on for there. And Grim as well, Alice. Grim Snake Boots. The Grim Snake Boots.
Everyone, that is my first ever D&D character. And yes, I have a background of him, which I have never ever told Adam.
Hey.
I DM'd for that character way back in the day.
Yeah.
And now I'm confused. Anyway. Hi everyone, this is me. This is my channel. We have social links. Check out our Discord, our Twitter, and our YouTube. Send me a DM on Twitter and I'll get you a game. Check out our Discord to come be part of the community, and you can find all of these videos up on YouTube. At the moment, we are airing the videos from the Academy weekend. They'll be going up for the next few days, then we'll start with this week, and they'll all be live before the show next week. We also have a Patreon. Go and check that out. You can support us over there for as little as $1. We've stayed above our $500 goal. Thank you so much, everyone, for keeping us up there. Yeah, more to come in the future. We'll start planning things out. I'm thinking about maybe, I don't know, maybe going for something, some new stuff that we can put in breaks or something. We'll work it out. We've finally got over the start of season bit, and we're now getting to that bit in the middle where I've actually got time to work on progressing things and making things better. So that's what's going to start happening in the near future. We also have merchandise. Go and check out our merch over on Redbubble. Get yourself a crest for your chest, or any other wall hanging or clock or anything else you want to do. Also check out our sponsors. Bird in the Storm Publishing, create content for D&D and other TTRPGs in the form of modules. And Mage Hand Press, who made the Dark Matter Alpha, a sci-fi expansion for D&D 5e, so you can play in space like we do on Thursdays at 10 PM. In addition to that, there are some panels below the screen. Check out arasafad.com, tabletoploot.com, and ruink.com, and go and get a discount with my special codes. And that is everything, I think, as I figure out how to spell things. There we go. So I'm going to take us on a little raid today. We're going to go and raid someone new. Someone who is doing what looks like some Atlas roleplay at the minute. But they also do tabletop and things. I've seen them around and, you know, they look cool. So we're going to go and say hello. They are Pumpkinberry. Maybe some of you know them already. But we're going to head over there now. Everyone, keep on evoking emotions. And until next time, see you later. I hadn't prepared the video. Keep waving, everyone. Hi, everyone. Bye.